I consider myself to be a romantic in a lot of ways. I mean, the psychological research backs it. If you're in a long-term relationship and it's stable and everything's emotionally regulated and boundaried, it's all good. Your life is better. You live longer. You have less physical illnesses and less mental health issues over the course of your life. And that seems to be what we're biologically evolved to, is pair bonding, finding a mate and staying with them and being with them. It's a good thing. However, I myself am single, and I've been single for 3 years, and I plan on continuing to be single. So how do you hold those two seemingly discordant beliefs, or well, you have the belief there, and then the actual action is moving in a different direction? It's an interesting philosophical conundrum. I'm very pro-love. I'm pro-pair bonding. I think it's a good thing. Human beings coming together and taking care of each other and falling in love and being in love, and then getting past the limerence and the lust phase and getting into something stable that's caring and is good, where you take care of somebody and they take care of you. For me, at a philosophical level, though, I'm like, okay, even though that's better, it's like a sliding scale. So what's the value? What are the different values and how do they align? So I highly value that. I think that's a very, very good thing. But I also highly value my sanity and my independence. And I'm at a stage in my life where it's a hard boundary for me. I won't give up sanity and independence for anything or anybody. So as soon as anything starts to go a little bit crazy or starts to infringe upon my independence, I bail. That could change, that could soften, that could just be a phase that I need to go through. But that's where I'm up to, particularly as an individual. But it doesn't mean I don't believe in it, and it doesn't mean I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a very, very good thing. The other little philosophical point I'd make is that I think that there's a sliding scale of different types of love. It's very important to have human connection in your life. It's very important to have love in your life. It's probably less important to have a sexual connection with just one person who you are in love with be the only connection in your life. That to me sounds like a bad idea. That's probably going to lead to neurosis. It's probably going to lead to being hyper-reliant on that one person, on that one relationship, which is likely the more reliant on the sliding scale you are on that one person, the more of your eggs you're putting in just one basket, then the higher the statistical likelihood there is of it being a disappointing experience, because ultimately it's just another human being that you're depending on for all of that. So I would say, yeah, love, but maybe a little more broadly. Yes, connect, but maybe a little bit more broadly. There is an agenda, there is propaganda, and I think it's pushing people to depend more and more on a singular source of love, one person that you're partnered with, and it's all about them, and you're encouraged into this sort of neurotic codependency where it's like they're everything to you. They become your whole life, and love is your whole life, and romance is your whole life. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like a good idea. That doesn't sound like you're going to be motivated and inspired to be creative, to be invested in your art, to be invested in your music, in your writing, in your passions, in your academic and intellectual development, and your philosophical development, because you're kind of stuck in this infantile, I love you, you love me, woo woo wah wah thing, which is cool, it's nice, it feels good. So does eating cake, and you only kind of want to do that on special occasions. It shouldn't be what your life revolves around, and it shouldn't be the basis for a long-term relationship. It's just not going to work very well in the long term if we try and do it like that. So there is a single man telling you his thoughts that are pro-love on this Valentine's Day. It's a good thing. Not only that, to love and to connect with people is now an act of rebellion, because it goes directly against the agenda that's being quietly enforced upon us. So love and connect, absolutely, it's a good thing.